So first, can you give me your first and last name and then spell it out for me?
Yes, Ty Coleman, Tycoleman, animal welfare expert.
All right, and can you just let me know what was your former position with Midland Animal Services as well?
I was formerly the animal services manager of the animal services facility for the city of Midland.
Okay. So I know that it's been a bit of a trying time for you in the past couple days, to say the least. So can you first tell me, when were you first told of your termination?
My termination was sprung upon me this last Thursday.
Okay, and what was your initial reaction to being told that you were being terminated from your position?
I was in complete shock at the time. I was in the back helping my staff because we were short staffed, and I'm a leader who likes to lead by example. I like to be hands on when assistance is needed. And so at the time, I was helping my staff, and I was called to my office. I went to my office, and my director of community services, Christina Burns, and her assistant director, Lori Williams, had let me know that I did not pass my probationary period.
And can you let us know, can you describe to the best of your ability what a probationary period is, and maybe why that was the reason for your termination?
Yeah, so with most jobs, you have a 30, 90-day probationary period. With the city of Midland, you have a 1 year probationary period, which is very extensive. And the probationary pretty much consists of, what I believe is, you have to pass the job description and the qualifications of your job.
Okay. And did you have any prior knowledge that your probationary period may be up, or that you were in fact going to be told that you would be losing your position?
Not at all. And typically, as I do with my staff, anybody who's on a probationary period, we do quarterly reviews to kind of let them know where they're at. Usually, they're counseled or disciplined prior to terminating and ending their probationary period.
Okay. And I know that there have been so far well, let's just say there's been a bit of a response to you being let go from your position right now. There's been a lot of people on Facebook talking about you being let go. There's been people asking maybe why you have been let go. But we also know that there's currently been a petition started by the Midland Cat Wranglers to perhaps bring you back your position. Were you aware of this petition?
I was actually made aware of the petition this morning. Somebody sent me a screenshot of it and was trying to remind me that there's hope for me and there's so much support.
And, well, let's just say maybe things to happen in the future. Would you be willing or welcome to come back to Midland Animal Services in your former position?
That's a very tough question to answer because, I truly miss my staff. The support that I saw, even just when I was being let go, the entire staff came up front and questioned my director. They were crying. They were very upset. So I could definitely tell you I do miss the team that I grew there. We were severely short-staffed. It was hard to find people. And so I recruited a great team, and we became a family. We spend so much time away from home at work. And for me, I was working at sometimes 7 a.m. to 10 p.m. as a salaried employee. I would try to show appreciation to my staff. I would get there early and make breakfast for them to show support, just because we're understaffed and they're overworked. So I would say yes in a sense because I want to be able to help my staff and also continue helping the community. There's such a need out here for more education, public education when it comes to animal services, and I just really want to be there and support the community. Now, I was looking forward to a new city manager coming on board as the city council was hiring for a new city manager. So in that sense, I wouldn't be opposed to starting with a new city manager, but it's hard to work under a interim city manager at this time when he does not care about animals and he's not compassionate in a way. He's made those statements frequently. So it's hard for when he's having that preconceived thoughts against whatever recommendations we have.
And what kind of qualities, for you did say that there may be another interim city manager coming in soon, what kind of qualities would you be hoping that a potential future city manager would have for the city of Midland?
I believe somebody with integrity, somebody that's able to preach accountability, whether that's holding themselves accountable, others, whether we did something good or bad, and somebody that's very community oriented. But part of the community is the animals. I mean, almost 90% of homes have an animal. Almost every single neighbor in my neighborhood has a dog or a cat. So animals are part of the family and they're part of the community.
And speaking of the community and speaking of the city council, I know city Councilman Dan Corrales did mention that, and he also invited people to the next city council meeting on May 9th to speak their grievances about anything that may have happened or may have occurred between your termination and everything that has happened since then. Do you plan on maybe attending this city council meeting just to speak your mind or speak your opinions about things?
I'm not sure yet. It's all bittersweet right now. I'm still trying to digest what has happened. It was kind of a slap in the face for everything that I've done within this community, the long hours. I just read Dan's post actually before this interview, and in his post, I mean, he stated that I've helped him plenty of times. He can call me on a Sunday. He can call me after hours at night. Anybody can call me, and I'm out there to help. I missed my first Thanksgiving with my family ever this last year, and that's because there was an animal cruelty case that blew up on social media. And at this present time, I'm the only one who knows how to fully investigate and prosecute animal cruelty here in Midland. And so, I may show up. I don't know yet.
Okay. So just a personal question for yourself. What made you want to push so hard for the safety and the protection of all the animals within the city of Midland?
I'm a public servant at heart. So it's whether I'm helping people or animals. I love doing both. I was supposed to be a police officer, but then I volunteered with my animal control agency in my hometown. 12 years later, I'm still here. Um, but really, it's all about being compassionate and having that passion to serve your community.
And also, I wanted to ask you, what were before you lost your position, what was like your plans for the future regarding the Midland Animal Services? What future plans did you have for it?
Well, we had a lot of great plans. I mean, we made it up to an 88% live release rate, which was a record for the city of Midland. I was looking at creating more events for kids at the shelter because, as we all know, the biggest demographic here in Midland are kids. I mean, our population is very young. I believe the average age is 30 to 31. So mainly looking at incorporating kid events, doing some type of animal cruelty investigator explorer, just like how they have police explorer program. Because I did participate in a lot of city community events in my town. I did Citizens on Patrol, went to the Citizens Police Academy. We were also planning on building in the empty lot where the old shelter was a isolation ward and somewhat of a temporary shelter, but also a place to house our veterinarian. So when the city designed this nice building, they didn't incorporate a workspace for a veterinarian, which we're hiring for right now. And so that facility next door in the empty lot would have incorporated a workspace for the veterinarian. It would have been a teaching facility as well, because we were working with Texas Tech to partner with them to do shelter rotations as they started a new vet school and their students are on their third year right now.
I mean, unfortunately, well, I do hope that you are able to see these plans out into the future. But as for today, well, what's next for Ty Coleman? What is your plan right now? Do you have a plan at all?
I'm trying not to make a decision too fast. I have several offers already, which I'm greatly appreciative for. But I want to make sure I make the best decision for the right move for me. I was planning on settling here in Midland, although I'm from Dallas. I have family and friends here. I love that we had an airport that was only 10 minutes from my house. So it was very convenient to travel back and forth. And, I was growing to love this community. There's so much support out here, and people want to see change. Some people have asked me to get into politics, and which is something I'm not opposed to. I've always been a fan of local politics because that's where you can make the greatest changes locally. And actually, before I took this position, I was getting ready to run for mayor in my hometown. But then I decided I wanted to jump back into the animal services field. So, if I'm still out here, I may run for council out here. But if not, I may just focus on my next career move.
Okay, well, thank you very much, Ty. Is there anything else that you want to add on to this that I may not have gotten to ask you about?
One thing I've always told everybody and I preach to my staff is integrity, being able to own up to your mistakes. And my biggest thing right now is if I did make a mistake with the city, I'm ready to own up to it. And I would love to apologize to all of my supporters for whatever mistake this is. But at this time, I honestly had no idea what I've done to be terminated, other than maybe it's retaliation because I didn't support Morris Williams privately when we were in a safe place, is what he calls it, anytime we talk in a meeting. And I didn't support his decision to reopen the shelter, which was going to be bad PR. And that's what happened. We reopened the shelter and people publicly criticized him, and I was condemned that same day by him. And 2 days later, I was let go.
Okay. Well, again, Ty, thank you very much for joining in on this interview and taking time out of your day to speak with me about this. I know there's been quite a hectic past few days for you, so thank you very much for speaking to us about this.
Yes, sir. I appreciate you guys' time and, letting me speak and share my side.
Of course. Have a good day. Thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you.